record on this computer. Okay. Thank you, Jim, very much.
I often forget to do it myself, so that's why I remember when others.
It's good. It's excellent. So let's go ahead and go around the room. Let me find our list of participants. And we will start with Peg. You're first. You need to unmute.
All right.
Hello, hello.
Hello. I'm Peg Losey. I live in York, Maine, and I am a retired teacher from New York as a teacher of the deaf. And up here, I became a Reiki master, an intuitive angel reader, hypnotherapist, and now working towards mediumship. So just things to keep me busy.
Wow.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Thanks, Peg. What's the name of your business?
I call it Through Wings and Hands, but my website is actually Holistic Healing Hypnotherapy.
Nice.
So, but Through Wings and Hands is what I called it originally, and I still like that. So I keep that.
Excellent. Let's see who's next. Gloria, you are next.
Hi, my name is Gloria, and I have a company. It's called Gloria Paints Dogs, and I paint custom portraiture of people's animals, and I work with them to help them craft the vision of what this relationship is. So it's a lot of helping them be an artist. So I'm painting the painting, but they are the creator. They have the intention and the desire that this moment in time speaks to the heart of who this animal was to them. So it is very much, I'd say a memorial, but a lot of them are still alive. It's just being able to capture something that speaks to the heart of their relationship. And
Beautiful. Lovely. Thanks, Gloria. Sheila.
Hi, I'm Sheila Orange. No apostrophe. It's a misspelling of orange. The business that I am manifesting with this organization is a loving experience coaching. I'm also a wedding officiant and operate a bed and breakfast and am partners in a technology consulting company. We're busy folks. I'm astonished at the range and variety of people who are in the healing space now. The Wellness Universe is another community I participate in, and it's more commercialized. I'm not quite at the level of a lot of the people there. So this is much more my speed, and I'm, how should I say this? After a lifetime of giving it away, I am trying to learn how to be sustainable in this enterprise so that I can back off on some of the others. It's the most coherent thing I've said all day.
We're recording. You'll be able to hear it again.
Thank you.
Jim, you are next.
So it's Jim Reedy, not ready. Following up on Sheila's misspelling. It's a common misspelling in my life. Although it is Jim Reedy and it's not Jim Ready, I am always ready for just about anything. I've been telling that joke for about 60 years, and our whole family has, in fact. So about 40 years ago, I went into the law. I became an attorney because I wanted to empower people. About 10 years later, I realized I wasn't feeling empowered myself. And quick story, a little bit shorter, I decided to teach yoga because I was studying yoga at the time. It was the only thing that was helping me heal from some of the things I was going through, physical issues. Long story, even shorter. For the last 30 years or so, I've been teaching yoga full-time, meditation, and a lot of things that come with that. I do private practice with one-on-one clients and sometimes with couples to help them basically connect with their true nature. It's like being a health club personal trainer, but for meditation. That's my analogy that I came up with. It makes sense to me. In the last 7-8 years, I discovered improvisational comedy, and in the last year, dramatic improvisation. And I've been teaching that for about, well, almost that time. Soon after I was introduced to it, I ran out of teachers in this area that were doing it, so I started teaching it myself. That's one of my passions right now. It's huge because it actually incorporates everything else that I do. The very essence of improv or improvisation is a spiritual journey for me. It's a spiritual tool or spiritual practice when viewed that way. So I'll leave it at that for now. Thank you for being here, everybody.
Thanks, Jim.
I'm in Concord, New
Steve?
Hampshire. Concord.
Steve, you're next.
My company is called Optimism Plus, and I've been working with healing energy since 1979. I'm an Akashic Records reader, a Reiki master teacher, a shamanic Reiki master teacher. I do shamanic journeys, shamanic cord cutting. I'm a crystal healer, sound healer, spiritual, executive, and personal coach. And I put all that together into one big healing basket. And based upon what needs to be done, we pull them out. And my life's goal, my calling is to help everyone reach their full potential one way or another. That's all I'm going to say.
Thank you, Steve. Kat, you're next.
Hi, everyone. I'm Catherine Turgeon, wellness consultant and energy practitioner. I don't know how to describe what I do. I'm in the process of trying to put it all back together again after, trying to really understand what it is I'm supposed to be doing with all of this. And I do yoga, meditation, a nutritional therapy, EFT, Reiki, whatever, comes up as necessary. I just like to think of myself as a person who gives someone else a safe space to be in order to explore what they need to get to their place of healing. I came across this road. It was a long and hard journey. My own illness led me to all this information, like so many people. So I really love the idea of connecting with all of you so that I can help myself to clarify what it is I'm supposed to be doing. So thank you.
Thanks, Kat. Hi, Jennifer, you're next. Mute.
So it is my mission to help women awaken the healer within. And I am a life coach and an empath who, again, specializes with women who actually have autoimmune. And it's partly because I have healed myself through this process that I want to share that with others. Unlock the mind and the body will follow. So that's where I'm at.
Lovely, lovely. Megan, are you there? No, Megan?
Yes, sorry.
There
Yes,
she
hi
is.
guys. I'm so sorry I'm not on video because
okay.
I'm cooking for a client, which I don't normally do, and I don't want you to see my crazy kitchen. But anyway, hi guys. My name is Megan. I'm a yoga therapist in New Hampshire. I'm just so grateful to be a part of this group. I'm in the North Country in the White Mountains where resources are abundant yet scarce at the same time. And as a therapist, there are only, probably a dozen of us in the entire state of New Hampshire that have gone the extra mile to help people with very chronic conditions. And it just spoke to me. So that's what I do. I specialize in chronic pain and helping people learn to look at their biomechanics and understand their patterns and try to shake things up a little bit so they can be more comfortable in their own bodies.
Lovely.
So anyway, that's me. Reducepain.today is my site. And
Okay.
thank you so much for this opportunity to meet you all.
Excellent. So now we are going to switch it over to Jeanne Demers. Hang on one second. I know there's something else that I need to tell you. Make sure you have the pen and paper. Very important for this. So go grab it if you need to. My name is Sonia Gaudet. I'm the founder, facilitator, and creator of HolisticPros. We are a growing alliance and a membership-based organization of holistic and complementary care professionals, bringing awareness and information to the forefront of attention. We host 2 times a month networking events. We're going to be hosting monthly workshops. We're about to launch a podcast and panel discussions, and we publish a regional printed directory, Pathways to Wellness. We are currently working on Central New Hampshire, Seacoast, Upper Valley, and the Mount Washington Valley as well. And then we have the online directory, holisticnh.org, and I just launched a founding member drive for Maine with Vermont coming soon. We are, okay, I told you grab a pen and paper. The workshop is going to be recorded. And I'd like to introduce you to Jeanne Demers, our presenter at tonight's workshop. Jeanne is an art educator turned coach whose role as a mentor to tweens and teen girls, helping them to find, shape, and share their great girl voices, led to a book deal with Penguin Random House in 2015, when she co-authored and illustrated the teen self-esteem book, Flawed: How to Stop Hating the Things That Make You Who You Are. Now a realized what matters money mindset coach, she uses a combination of EFT, NLP, and hypnotherapy to help business owners dig deep and release the crap that is holding them back from thriving in their business. She is amazing. I love her, and I think you all will too. Welcome, Jeanne.
Thank you, Sonia. And I'm really happy to be here. It's been really lovely getting to know you all as much as I have just gotten to know you. And I'm really excited to do what I'm about to share with you. I love this crowd of holistically oriented, heart-centered people making the world a better place. I feel I am one. I am passionate about EFT tapping, specifically the style of it that I use is faster EFT, which I'll be getting into, and the effectiveness of it and how it can be applied to any of our limitations that we might have. It's just so applicable to so many things. I happen to focus specifically on money because of how much it has helped me to overcome some of the ways that I was originally wired around money, which would be work hard because there's something wrong with easy, under earn because there's something virtuous about giving without receiving, and be undeserving. What you really want to be doing is proving your worth all the time. And even that doesn't necessarily make you worthy of reward. So those things might not have been said in so many words. Some of them were, excuse me, but those were messages and they conditioned me. And I needed to come out the other side and move on in my adult life without those beliefs taking me down. And I wonder, is that something that others here can relate to? Show of hands. Yeah. So it means you're in the right place for the next 45 minutes that we have together. So what I want to do is move quickly, through the beginning, the introductory stuff, the overview of what you can expect, the instructions that you're going to need in order to be able to do what we're going to do together, and then set us up to actually do it. So I'll jump in with an overview what's going to happen is an intake. We're going to start with an intake where I'm going to ask you questions and you will write the answers. And I call it lightning round question and answering because of the amount of time that we have together, but also because that's really what's best, because going faster than you might be comfortable going is going to cause you to answer in the spirit of first thought, best thought. And you want to trust your first thought because it's coming from your subconscious, the biggest, smartest part about you. And when I say subconscious, that's really a metaphor for you. So trust yourself. And when you're writing down these answers, it's going to be a key word, a phrase, a sentence. That's really all you need. And if you're ever feeling like, this is moving fast and that's an evocative question, I really want to stay with it, or you're searching for the answer and we've already moved on to the next question, just trust that your subconscious is going to be working on it without your conscious attention on it anymore.
Megan has a question. She's
Okay.
raising her hand. Go ahead, Megan.
Megan.
Sorry, no, I don't. I just was late in high-fiving your earlier comment. Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
I'm cooking.
Okay, great.
Sorry. I'm
That's
sorry.
quite all right. And if anybody has questions, Sonia is moderating and she'll like do just that and let me know to hold up. So
Thumb up.
actually, for show of hands, who is already familiar with EFT tapping at all? Wow, so quite a few of you. Great, great, great. And even if you weren't already familiar with it, it's quite all right. The version of it, as I say, the faster EFT that I'm going to be sharing with you is different than traditional EFT. It incorporates into it NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and hypnotherapy. Okay, so quick overview. Tapping, most of you know, it's using the fingertips to tap lightly on meridian endpoints on the body. And they are the same points that are used in acupuncture and acupressure. And the meridians are our super highways in the body along which chi, energy, life force travels, and also transports signals between the brain and the major organs of the body. So tapping on these points does two really important things. It's going to, first of all, bring down the stress response quickly and noticeably. And the second thing that it is great at is it's a pattern interrupter. So when you're working on something like a problem, something that you wish were other than the way that it is, it serves to interrupt the usual pattern that is journeying through your system. And because it does both of those things, reduces the stress response and is a pattern interrupter, it allows you to do a third thing that's really important, which is have greater access to your subconscious. So the points that we are going to be tapping on, there's just going to be 4 of them, as opposed to all of the ones that you would do in traditional EFT tapping. And I'm going to invite you to tap along with me so that we can, as we go over them. First one is inside of eyebrow, and that's right on the rim of the eye socket, right where the eyebrow begins. And you can use 1 finger, 2 fingers, 3 fingers. You could tap on one side, you could tap on both sides, does not matter. Second one is on the outside of the eye, right again on the rim of the eye socket. Next is under the eye, rim of eye socket. And then we're going to skip a couple and we're going to go right to the collarbone point, which is find your collarbone, the bone, but then go down a little ways from it to where it's a little bit softer and even tender. And that's the point that I use to tap on. Also possible, I've seen people do it where the place where a man's bow tie would be, I've seen people tap their whole hand on that point. So your choice. And then after we've tapped on these 4 points, it's hold on to the wrist, grab your wrist. This is actually a shortcut because this is a lot of points that are here in the wrist, but we're using it as a peace anchor. So you hold on to your wrist, give it a little squeeze on the inhale, exhale, and peace. You say the word peace at the end of the exhale. Then you let go of the wrist because this is only for happy, good thoughts. This is a peace anchor. So you don't want to be thinking about the problem while you're holding on to your wrist. You let go of the wrist, and then it's back to the problem, checking on it and noticing what's there, what's changed, what hasn't changed yet. And then we'll begin tapping again to continue to bring down the stress response and shift it. Really important, because this is a distinction between traditional EFT and faster EFT, is that we've aimed at the problem, what it is that we're tapping on, by really finding out, asking ourselves a lot of questions about how we know it's a problem. Once we've got that, we don't need to focus on the problem anymore. Our subconscious has got it. So when you're tapping on the points, your attention is going as fully as possible, no matter what you're saying as you're tapping, because you'll be repeating after me. The attention goes to the sensation of your fingertips tapping, okay? Maybe the temperature of the fingertips on your skin, but not the problem. And then the peace anchor, peace, back to the problem. That's the drill. I'll be asking you questions during the tapping process so that we can gauge your progress and we measure. I'm sure a lot of you know the SUDS, subjective units of distress scale. So 0 to 10, how strong is it? 0 being, I don't even recognize that it's there. 10 being, I'm on fire. It is so strong in my system right now. So we'll do that. We'll do the intake, we'll do the tapping, and then finally we'll finish up with me leaving you on the good foot, the way you want to feel moving forward, feeling good. And that's how it's going to go. Any questions about that? I see Jim.
I just put a question in the chat. Is it faster as in quicker? As in,
You know, that is the idea. And I'll just say quickly, yes, faster as in quicker. He may as well have called it faster NLP, because I really believe that there's more NLP in this than EFT. So just know that about what we're going to be doing together. Okay, so moving along, and now it's about what it is that we're going to tap on. So a couple of deep breaths, ground, and think about for just a moment the outcomes that you want for your business. And I imagine that everyone here wants their business to flourish. And flourishing, thriving businesses entail money. So show of hands, who is interested in bringing more money into their business? All right. And show of hands, who feels challenged by that in any way, shape, or form? Challenge, yeah. Show of hands, who knows or suspects that the messages that they got about money in their growing up years were less than ideal? Yeah, a lot of us. And finally, show of hands, who has gone on to have life experiences that have reinforced those unhelpful messages? Show of hands. So, okay. Great. Okay, so this is the direction. I'm dealing with our earliest money paradigm. And this is so very important because, and I am about to quote an NLP trainer named John Overdurf, who I highly recommend checking him out on YouTube. And he was reflecting in a training on the idea that we get what we focus on. Well, we get what we focus on unconsciously, meaning that if we keep paying attention to something consciously, there's a neural network that's associated with whatever that conscious thing is. So if a person's focusing on, say, I'm going to make myself more wealthy, I'm going to do what it takes to create more money, and is affirming, I'm making tons of money, I am bringing in money, I'm doing it. All of that conscious attention that seems very positive, very good. Well, what happens is if we have this word called money, what are all of the associations that are attached to that that may or may not be helpful, positive, pleasant? So it may be that what is unconsciously attached to the word called money is mom and dad used to fight all the time about not having enough of it. Or an example from my childhood was that I so wanted those Levi corduroys to wear to school so that I would fit in, but there was not money for that. And the frustration that was then associated in my system with money. And I'm going to invite you now to use your pen and paper and write down anything that may be coming to your mind right now in terms of what gets associated with this word called money from your growing up years. And I often ask this, you'll hear me ask it when we do the intake. Is it something that you see, something that you hear, something that you feel, or a combination of those things? And write down whatever it is that is there for you. I'll just give you a moment to do that. And again, trusting whatever's coming up. And whatever it is that you just wrote down, that's wired. And what does that mean? That means that when you think money, you are essentially waking up or activating that particular neural network that's associated with that, what you just wrote down. Any thoughts or anything, that you want to share about it, or shall we just keep moving right along?
I don't know if anybody wants to hear it. I'm happy to share.
Oh, by all means, you can share. We're gonna keep this short, but I'm thank you for offering.
I always knew that I resented my mother's materialistic attitude, her protectiveness of physical objects, what I felt was her graspiness. Part of not feeling comfortable with abundance is just not wanting to be like my mother. But I just figured out, thank you very much, that I also had a reaction to my father's workaholism, that his goals and ambitions about being prosperous and taking care of the family and constantly climbing that social ladder took him away from us. He just wasn't present for a lot with the family. And the third thing that came up was being resented by other people who don't have whatever you have. I mean, that so many people resent someone who is prosperous because they have what that person wants, but they haven't been willing to put in the work to get what that person got.
Right, right, right. Thank you for sharing that. And I'll just share this off of that, is that those things that happened, they're long gone, they're over. Your mother is no longer, your father is no longer, I mean, they're not alive, but they're no longer doing those things.
No, they're
And
dead.
so, okay, so it is that everyone in there is you now. That's you doing that to you. The way that you represent them is you doing it to you. And that's why it's so very important to address this stuff, because we don't want to be doing some of these things. We can always keep the good, but the things that are less than good, we want to change those things. So, and there are ways to do it, to work with the subconscious. So, yeah, thank you. All right, so are we ready to move into the actual intake section of this, the lightning round? All right, we'll do it. So this is down and dirty, questions and answers. And remembering, of course, first thought, best thought. Keywords, phrases, sentences. Here we go. First question is, what do you want to change today? How is this a problem for you? Give what you're thinking about a name. Title it. And usually I say close eyes and go there, but you don't quite have to close your eyes. You can just go there as if you're there now. Are you seeing something, hearing something, feeling something, or a combination?
Repeat the third one again.
Are you hearing something, feeling something, or seeing, feeling, or hearing, or a combination? It might be that you feel something in your stomach and you hear something in your head. So it can be any combination of these. And how strong is it? 0 to 10. 0, you don't feel it. 10, you really feel it. And it's just a guess how strong it is. And when you see, hear, feel it, what do you notice? Good job. When have you felt this way before? Give that a name. And go there as if you're there now and experience it. Do you see it? And if you see it, how do you see it? Do you see it as though you're there and you're looking out through your own eyes? Or do you see it like a movie? Or it could be a combination of those two. Do you hear something? Do you feel something? And if you feel something, where do you feel it? How do you know that you feel it? How strong, 0 to 10? What else do you experience or notice now? This experience, what's the worst part about it? What does that mean about you? That means I'm and first answer, how old do you feel right now? What was happening in your life at that time? Give it a name. And go there as if you're there now. Do you see it, hear it, feel it, or a combination? Where do you feel it? What triggers it? Who else does it affect? If this problem had a message, what would it be? What bad thing will happen if this problem is gone? What did you need that you didn't have back then? What did you need that you didn't have back then? And what do you believe about this? All right, and we'll wrap that up, that part of it up, and see if we have a limited amount of time, I know, and we have like more to get to, but and actually, so I'll ask for shares on the next part, because we're going to move on to what you would rather have instead. So while we're still in this space, it's kind of easy to flip it and say, well, you know what I don't want. This is the crappy stuff. This is what I would much rather have instead. So let's say we're going to write desired outcome on our piece of paper. And how do you want to feel instead? What good things do you want to believe about yourself? What good things do you want others to believe about you? If you didn't have this problem, what would you be doing that you aren't doing now? How do you want to feel instead? And how do you know when you feel that way instead? How do you know? Where do you feel that in your body? What does that do for you? What do you get out of whatever it is that it does for you? What does it allow you to be, do, or have this way of being? And when have you felt this way before? The feeling that you have now as you explore this, when have you felt this way before? And I want you to go there and experience it. Do you see it? Do you feel it? Do you hear it? Or a combination? And give this memory a title. What's the best part about it? All right, and tuning into the best part about it, make it a little bit stronger because you can. And notice what that does where in your body. And these feelings in this memory, if they had a color, what would the color be? Beautiful. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to anchor this happy memory that you've given a title to and a color to by putting your pen down and closing your eyes, taking a couple of deep breaths and imagining that color as a pinpoint of light in the center of your chest, right there in the center of your heart. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in, imagine that that color light is expanding, filling up your heart with all of those good feelings. And with each breath out, you're going to let it move from your heart, spreading downward first to your toes. And then once it gets all the way to your toes, it's going to come back up to the top of your head, just like water fills a glass. And all those good feelings blended into that color are filling up all the cells of your body and all the spaces in between too. And just notice it feels so good. And when you're ready, you're going to squeeze your wrist. Take a nice deep breath in. Blow it out and say peace. Good job. All right, how does that feel? Anyone want to share with me, because it'll be worth having for what we do upcoming, their good words, stuff from their desired outcome or their happy memory, the feelings? Anybody?
I'll share. It was very strong for me. I had in my career several pivotal moments of great success. So I pulled up 3 key ones, and my word ended up being affirming.
Beautiful.
And the joy I felt from that turned into a big ball of sunlight energy. So I was able to quickly get affirming, joy, sunny energy.
Affirming, joy, sunny energy. I love it. Thank you. Anybody else want to share? No?
Hi.
Oh, wait.
Yes, please.
Yep,
This
go
is
ahead.
Megan. This is Megan. I find your delivery exceptional. I
you.
find your voice and your way of describing so melodic and peaceful. It really helped me get out of the head that I'm always in and into my deepest heart. And you have a real gift for getting me into a very meditative mood, even while I'm sitting here cooking for somebody. I wanted to turn the stove off so I could just embrace the love that you're providing.
Oh, thank you, Megan.
It's really,
Did
really
you want
lovely.
to? Oh, thanks. Did you want to share any of your words that you got from the positive side of things?
Yes. It's interesting when you offer these questions about where did these ideas form, where did they plant themselves, and how did they manifest as you grow older. That's how I was thinking of it. Like you had planted a seed of where you learn these things, and then how they grow and how they develop into this giant plant or weed in my case, and how to reframe it in a way that is really accessible and delightful, and just getting a whole visual map around how to look at your relationship to money. So I found it extraordinarily helpful to just picture in my mind a total reframe.
Great.
So thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. And we're not done yet. You know what? And actually, on that note, let's keep moving forward. And let me ask also, show of hands, can anybody go beyond 6:30 if it ends up going an extra 10 minutes?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And if you can't,
Let's do it.
popping off, absolutely, totally understandable. Okay, great. So let us then move on. Are you ready to let go of this problem? Great, let us do it. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you take a deep breath in and bring your attention back over to everything that is on the problem side of the page. And in fact, look at it. Look at all of those things that you wrote down and notice why it's a problem, what it links to, and really let all of that is on your page bother you. Feel it, see it, hear it, really go there now. Let it really bother you. And how strong is it? 0 to 10. And I want you to jot that number down. And if you can, make it stronger, because the faster, the stronger it is, the faster it goes. Okay? Have we got it up in our system? I'm going to ask this question now. We have got a jar full of butterflies in front of us, and there's a lid on this jar full of butterflies, but you're about to unscrew the lid off of the jar. What naturally happens to the butterflies when you remove the lid? They
Fly away.
They fly away. That's right. And we are going to start tapping. So tension, it's great to have your head facing upward. And I want you to tap and repeat after me, focusing on the fingertips. We are eliminating all sadnesses.
We are eliminating all sadnesses,
All fears,
all fears,
emotional traumas, judgments, abandonments, betrayals, angers, resentments, guilts, helplessness and hopelessness, rejections and feelings of no control, and anything else that goes along with this. That's right, we're letting it all go. And grab your wrist, give it a squeeze, inhale, exhale, blow it all away and say peace. Go to your happy memory. See it, feel it, hear it. Make it stronger, because you can. Notice where and how you know it feels good in your body. Good job. Now letting go of the wrist, because we're going to go back to the problem and we're going to check on it. How strong is it now? 0 to 10. Write that number down. Notice what's still there, what's changed, what hasn't changed yet. Got it? And tapping. Fingertips is where the focus goes. Repeating after me. I release this feeling that's left. Whatever it means, whatever it represents. My mind knows. I don't need to know. I lovingly release and let it go. It's okay to let it go. Safe to let it go. It's time to let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. And grab your wrist. Give it a squeeze, inhale. Exhale. Peace. And once again, go to that happy memory and really see it. Feel it. Hear it. Make it stronger. Good job. Letting go of the wrist, because we're going to go back to the problem to check in on it. And notice what's there now. Is it something that you see? Is what you see changing? Is it breaking up in any way? If you heard something, what do you hear now? And if there's a feeling that goes along with this, what's the feeling now? And one more round of tapping. Whatever's left, I'm letting it go. Across all time and space, I can let this go. I don't need to save any of it for dinner. It's okay to let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. And a great NLP, really scratch it up. Put your hands in your armpits, and I want you to quack like a drunk duck. Quack, 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 quack. Whatever your drunk duck sounds like. Great. Grab your wrist, give it a squeeze. Inhale, exhale. Peace. Happy memory. And good job letting go of the wrist. And checking in on it one more time and noticing what's there now, how it's changed, how it hasn't changed yet. What is there? And I'd be interested in some shares, if anybody wants to share what the process was like for them. Kind of like, what was it that it started at? Maybe we could get a read on that. What was, when we, at the outset of the tapping, how high were people's numbers? It might have been like lower because we did the anchoring of the happy memory, but I'm interested in hearing what numbers people had. Jim?
Sure. I think I started off at an 8. Well, yeah, 8 when we went through it the first time, and then when you had us recheck 8, it went down to 6. And then the third time we rechecked, I started to question myself, and because I was about to say 4, like it's descending, and I realized that was something inside me, a people-pleasing part of me that wanted to say 4 and wanted to have quick results. And classically, I'm always the last one in the room to get something. That's the way I see myself in a workshop setting. I got this real powerful vigilant or sentry. It's on guard all the time. So when I started to recognize that, what I felt was, the honest answer that I started to feel was, there was in my chest a feeling of fear. And there was, in that last question you asked us, I believe, the fear was not being vigilant enough, that if I'm letting my guard down, bad things are going to happen. But what I felt with that last question was that whatever the thing is, it was getting closer to me. I was getting closer to it. It was the same amount of intensity. What that meant to me, and it was really clear on a subtle level, that I'm just not as afraid of it anymore. So I'm allowing myself to get really close to it with playing the edge of fear. That's what it was.
Wow. Beautiful, beautiful, really good. So that would be if we were to really be doing this work, say one-on-one, we'd go further with that and find out more about that fear and get that down to a 0. And then it's possible to change it into what you would much rather have there. Yeah. Anybody else want to share?
Yeah, I've got helium hand.
Helium hand, Sheila?
Helium hand. Yeah. That's why when somebody says, will anybody volunteer, I have to sit on my hands because, yeah. This is very interesting process. I understood that I had a fear of success. That part of my fear was being obligated to continue to perform, to continue to produce, to be trapped, in other words, sucked in, because every job that gives you money in general means you have to show up and you have to keep doing it. Even though we've been independent business owners for 18 years this month, still, once you make that commitment, you have to keep showing up, taking on one more thing, doing one more thing. And it just, as I was releasing it and releasing it and releasing it, and my rainbow freedom, my idea of prosperity is, and I can't remember this except because I never really experienced it in an honest way, not having to say how much, to ask how much when you need to buy something or do something or get your teeth fixed or whatever normal people do. Not, millionaire yacht kind of stuff, but just what normal people do, not having to worry about that. So it just occurred to me, and there's going to be, I want a chorus of duh, that I can make my own schedule. I can give myself time off. I don't have to have appointments all the time, every day. I can take vacations. I can just have it built in that on certain days and certain times, I go lay down and read my book. That it doesn't have to be a continual da 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 Volga boatman kind of drudge.
Right. So for you, it loosened up that downside of work. It changed it to like, wait, there's freedom. There are possibilities here.
Well, no, it's the success thing. I have no doubt that I can do what I do. I do it, but not getting paid for it. I don't have to do it.
Right.
So just knowing that I'm the boss, that I can plan for myself to be okay.
Yes.
And
Good,
give it,
good.
allocate, budget time and not give it all my time, no matter how much people want me to. I can
Great.
say no.
Yes. Correct. Wonderful. Thank you, Sheila. Anybody else who wants to share anything that the process revealed for them? Gloria.
I feel, even though I've just met you, like I feel like I'm repeating myself, probably because I'm not getting a sense I'm discovering something new. I'm running up against the same wall. So basically my pain and my joy are the same. They're the same thing. And so yeah, so I can visualize, and I'll cry. I'll visualize the joy and the joy left.
Tap. Yep. Give it a little tap while you're talking. That's it. That's the stuff. Ooh, it's okay. It's safe. Yep.
So that's the wall. I have described it as a translucent wall. I know there's something on the other side, and again, I know artists hit the wall. There's a wall. I'm blocked, and there's grief, and there's pain, and yet I'm supposed to keep going on. And I don't know. I I don't know. Imagine like an inner child is still really angry that like my dream came and then it just got taken, and I'm thinking I'm done. I'm done. Like, you know.
Yeah.
I had the magic and the magic's gone, and I'm like, I don't know.
Gloria, I hear you. This is you've gotten to some really deeply held cellular stuff, and that's what wants to release and let go and make way for beliefs that are supportive of your life as an artist, so that yes, it is true, the joy and the pain go together, and the joy can be there as the guiding force in your creative life. Yeah. When we're going to do an integration that's going to help with exactly this kind of stuff that has come up, that's going to allow you to take that and work it even further in a way that allows you to feel complete. For now, I know that it's not like, okay, one and done in a workshop, not like that, but in a way where you're working with this piece that has really revealed itself. As familiar as you are with it, it's really up for you right now to be worked with. Yeah. Okay, well, shall we move into the final piece of this process? Okay, so centering yourself and taking a couple of nice deep breaths, and I think grounding would be good. So feeling your body where it's touching surfaces. That would be the feet on the floor, your buttocks on the chair, your hands touching your body. And I want you to just notice your color. So the color from your happy memory, let that become really strong and bright in your mind in whatever way feels good. Got it? Beautiful. Now let it be filled with all of the good feelings of your happy memory. And I want you to take that color and I want you to send it to you 30 days in the future. And I want you to let that color pave the way for you to feel great success, joy, affirmation, peace, enthusiasm for, trust in your great work in the world. And imagine what it's like now to do what it takes to make your business thrive. Putting yourself out there to be seen, validated, affirmed, believing that I am amazing at what I do. I deserve all the best in life just for being who and how I am, and I've always been. And now I want you to imagine yourself, you're 3 months from now, and you're feeling good, worthy, fully deserving, doing all of your great work, all while being met with reward easily, paving the way for you to be aligned with your values, energized, free to live your life on your terms. You're abundant as you share your passion, your vibe, your love of what it is that you do. See yourself there enjoying how easily everything flows from that state. Now just notice how good it feels. And I want you to take all those good feelings back with you, back in time to your happy memory time. You're traveling in time and space, and now you're back there and you're feeling even more at peace with yourself and all the other good feelings that were there at that time. And once again, remember the color. And you can let it be filled with all of these good feelings. And this time, I want you to send that color and all those good feelings that are blended into it to yourself, back in the past to whatever time and whatever place you might have needed it the most. And you can imagine that color washing through the experience, filling it with all of these positive emotions, noticing as it changes. That's right, it's changing into something else. And you might even notice how all of the events between then and now seem to change as well, becoming better and better and better. And now I'd like you to imagine that that younger you is here today. Imagine that they're standing right there in front of you. That's right. And it's easy to know how grateful they are for the work that you've done for both of you today. Open your arms up to them and invite them in for a hug. You can physically open your arms up to them. That's right. And notice if they come in for the hug. And if they do, you're going to feel their arms hold you tight. And you can hold them just as tightly as they're holding you. That's right. Now I'd like you to whisper in their ear something that you have really needed to know. And let me know with a nod when that happens. That's right. Now listen, because they're about to give you a really important message. And you'll nod when you've got that message from them. Beautiful. And you can allow that message to begin making changes right now within you. And tonight, as you sleep and as you dream, now notice that as they're holding you tighter and tighter, they're moving right inside. That's right inside to that special place in your heart. In fact, you can place your hands over your heart right now to feel it there in your heart. They're going to be right there in your heart to remind you every day exactly what you need to know, that you deserve, that you're amazing, you're sunny, joy, peaceful, in the flow, giving and receiving freely, being exactly who and how you are. Feel it. Feel that peace, that completeness, that wholeness. And when you're ready, only when you're ready, I want you to squeeze your wrist to anchor all of that in. Beautiful. And when you're ready, but only when you're ready, you'll come back into the room you're in now by opening your eyes. Beautiful. And what's there now? And I know we need to wrap up, but I invite you to continue to integrate this experience. Yes, it's something that you have experienced. Things have shifted, things have risen to the surface, things have moved around. There's been some real shifting.
And I recommend to keep tapping. Like the emotion is so strong right now. I see it for some of you, and to continue tapping through it is very helpful to help release it and
That's
integrate.
right. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sonia. And just the phrases, and I can send this to all of you. But it's so simple. It's just let it go. It's okay to let it go. It's safe to let it go. That's really it. It's like, it's okay. It's safe. It's time. Those are the things that you can say as you tap. Does anybody want to say anything in order to gain further clarity around the process, or share something? Being respectful of the fact that we've gone over, I know. No? Oh, Jennifer?
I actually thought the last little visualization was really helpful in kind of having the colors and the feeling of all the happiness, and going back to, I've been doing a lot of inner child work, so it was kind of nice to say that it was okay, and there was an element of forgiveness, I think, of the letting go. in the process of saying, hey, I got you, you know, and
Yeah.
we're in this together and it's okay. And it was very reaffirming in the return of giving myself something that I didn't get when I was a child. And I have been doing a lot of, I just went through a process of worthy coaching that was really, so this is interesting timing to blend this and actually feel like I'm letting go of a different level. So the worthy coaching was very intensive process, and it was interesting to really see what was in the subconscious. So this is an interesting thing to, again, let go
Wow.
of the lingering stuff that's been brought up to the surface and now letting go.
Awesome. Really fantastic. Wow. And that does sound very powerful, worthiness coaching.
Yeah, so it was your net worth and your self-worth and how they blend together. And it was really eye-opening how we actually value ourselves and how we spend money and the whole thing. It was very, very good. So
Great. Oh, thank you for sharing that.
yeah, thank you for doing this workshop. It was good. Thank you.
Oh, great, great. I just need, Gloria, how are you?
I imagine, I mean, I'm fine. Listen, I am, again, I'm aware that I am holding grief. I guess that's it. And I do a lot of spiritual work. I have heard this phrase from one of my spiritual teachers, and they're saying, you let grief have its due. And there's always been this question, what would that be exactly? What is grief's due? Like, you know, so that is my journey. I've dealt, you know, I've had the channels tell me that this is it. You've got this grief to move through. And I'm like, great. Okay. And here it is. I really don't, I was appreciative of this because is a sense of allowing things to happen with me not trying to happen, because I don't have any intellectual understanding of how to wrestle this. I looked at it, I know I've cried, I'm not afraid of crying. And then there it is, there is that wall. And I'm thinking, well, it's me and this wall. I really don't know. So I'm hoping that this will, I don't know, something will move. I really don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Gloria, I'm sure I'm not the only one who wants to just like jump through the screen and give you a big, big hug.
Yeah.
And just hang on until you
Yeah.
let go.
Well, I'll tell you, this is, I was trusting, like you're saying, write things quickly, and a lot of it, I'm like, that's not the correct answer. Like things would come up. So like someone's whispering in an ear, and what came up was whispered back was not me, but it was my dog, which is what I grieve over. The dog who brought my business to me, and the whole story, which I won't get into, but he said, I'm coming back. And then that irritates me. It irritates me because it sounds like me talking to me. And so this is I wrestle. I have this in me all the time between form and formless. And I know that I'm supposed to be giving up to formless. And as much as we talk about, in spiritual terms, people talk about the formless, I have ventured into formlessness spaces that have scared the bejesus out of me. And so it's not all, like when people talk about enlightenment, it's not really comfy to be in this space. So, I'm trying to be conscious of all of that I'm supposed to understand a lot of this, but in a grounded way, and I'm going on. But there is a relationship with something in the formless that pulls me.
Mm-hmm.
That is pulling me, and it's this relationship that I'm supposed to be working out right here in the groundedness, and it's a war. And I cry, and I understood how to relate in form. I'm a painter, I paint form, I bring it to form, but there's this nugget, I'm like, I cannot for the life of me figure it out, I just can't.
Yeah.
So I hope this helps, and I don't know. I don't know how
Well,
I am.
I hope it does too. And I have confidence in the process. And if you just continue to, as these things arise, you know, tapping is amazing. It's just like, it's the simplest little thing. And it doesn't always have to be, you know, on these points. It could be your fingers. There's set tapping where if you just, you know, nobody has to know you're doing it. You're just like tapping away, and it really regulates the stress response.
So
So
it just to trust that, because I
Mhm.
mean, that's,
yeah,
I don't want to intellectualize it. I know it's, yeah.
right,
It's
right, right.
it's the opportunity to in unawareness release, right? So when you're feeling those emotions come up, Gloria, just not even really considering the emotions, just knowing they're there and tapping and saying to yourself, it's safe to let go, it's safe to let go. And that's all you say is safe to let go, safe to let go. And then just go about your day. But when I know that sense of feeling of the overwhelmedness of that grief and processing
Yeah.
it, it's very, very difficult.
It's, yes, and I want to speak to that, is that I'm going to have an intellectual understanding, like the wall in my business and also the money, is that so many of the people who come to me, I hold space for them in their grief and this relationship they have, and I have this mega relationship and my grief. And it's like, well, great, like I've got to hold yours, and I'm really not, I don't even know what to do with mine, you know, so I'm not serving anybody because I can't manage the intensity of my own. And I don't know how you tell that to your client. Sorry, I'm just.
It's a mirror. It's that continuous mirror of work that we need to do for ourselves. Having
Right.
the mirror is being placed in front of you every time you talk to a client who's coming in based in that grief space.
Or I stand in front of my easel. So
Right.
like, I don't even want to go there. So maybe
Yeah.
that's it. Maybe I tap in front of my easel as I'm moving through. That might, maybe.
And supporting
Yeah.
yourself with boundaries and all, you know, all of that energetic woo-woo helps.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Beautiful.
everyone, thank you so much for being game, and Kat. Yeah,
Appreciate this.
for playing along and having the experience along with me. Thank you.
Any other questions? Everybody is good. I will send a recording of this to everybody. I think this is a beautiful, beautiful tool to have in your back pocket. If you ever want to watch it again, you can.
Thank you
Great.
so much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
Really
welcome.
great.
That was lovely. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I am in your energy and your, oh, she's gone.
Oh yeah, she left. Lovely.
Gloria, did you see my note in chat?
I can save the chat too. I'll do
Yeah.
that. I'll save the chat and send it along.
Hang
Gloria,
on
do you-
just a second.
Gloria,
Joe.
do you know how to save chat? I can tell you how to save your own chat. I think this works for everyone.
Yep, little dots after the,
Gloria, yes,
Empty
no, do you
chat.
know how to? You're on mute. We can't hear you. But if you go down, if you open the chat and you go down to the bottom where it says to everyone, you see those three dots to the right,
Yeah.
click that, and then you'll see save chat.
Okay.
And when you go off Zoom, it should start saving it for you.
Okay, let's pause.
Okay.